Hello everyone and welcome back to the live stream next to the live stream. I'll get tired of that pun eventually. Sorry, my dog's barking at something upstairs. But yeah, it is April 24th. Holy cow. I just feel constantly surprised by the date. I don't know why. Like, of course, whatever happened before. Yeah. Anyways. Hey, Joel. Hopefully, things are going good for you. Being a young... Well, yeah. There's a lot of exciting things going on in your life that I can see having this time away actually being some benefit. So, yeah. But hi. And hi, Ryan. Today, we're going to start off with Jesus is Calling, which is the devotional written as if Jesus is talking to us. And, yeah, we'll go from there. Hey, Jonathan. Oh, yeah. It's a live stream of a stream that I'm live streaming in front of. I'm trying to be meta. Not really. It's just too cold outside. Rest in the stillness of my presence while I prepare for you this day. Let the radiance of my glory shine upon you as you wait on me in confident trust. Be still and know that I am God. There is both passive and an active side of trusting me. As you rest in my presence, focusing on me, I quietly build bonds of trust between us. When you respond to the circumstances of your life with affirmations of trust, you actively participate in this process. I am always with you, so you have no reason to be afraid. Your fear often manifests itself in excessive planning. Your mind is so accustomed to this pattern of thinking that you are only now becoming aware of how pervasive it is and how much it hinders your intimacy with me. Repent of this tendency and resist it whenever you realize you are wandering. Ducks are distracting me. Whenever you realize that you are wandering down this well-worn path, return to my presence, which always awaits you in the present moment. I accept you back with no condemnation. 2 Bible verses that inspired that. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Psalm 46:10. And then, therefore, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, because through Christ Jesus, the law of the Spirit of life set me free from the law of sin and death. Romans 8:1 and 2. So a couple things that kind of came out of that. It's that reminder that to take a day of rest this week, and to practice silent prayer is always a good thing. I think my cat is hoping to find a fish. Are you looking to find a fish, Joxer? You're focusing way too much on the moving water. Yeah, and that whole, be still and know I am God works into your breathing a little bit. And silent prayer, it's challenging not to be asking constantly for things, but to sit and just listen and actively, stilly be in God's presence. It's a weird thing, but it's a good thing, I think. But yeah, to be praying and to take those days of rest. For me, that is like Sunday, I'll be doing that again. I'll be cutting off extra Facebook activity besides this stream, and watching like the live stream of my church. But other than that, I cut off like interacting on Facebook and other social medias. It's the way to stay sane and try to give the time to God. Excessive planning also fits into a few of the themes this week. Do an excessive plan. And that reminder from the start of all of this that God is with us. God's constantly just pursuing and wanting to be with us. And it is weird making my own coffee, trying to be better. It's hard because like Tim Hortons and McDonald's and stuff like that are still open, and there's a little bit of like, yeah, I want to give because, you know, if I buy things, one, it helps keep some people employed, and it also helps the economy a bit because sales tax and stuff like that. And then the other side of it is, but then I could be helping to spread the disease. So there's a balancing act, but I've started at least somewhat to make my own coffee. I haven't quite nailed it yet. But yeah. So in a moment we're going to open up the Bible and we're going to read the Proverbs for today, which is the 24th. And a quick look through it. There's no blue text today, so we'll have to go back to that. But Juxer, hey bud, what you doing? Is the PlayStation warm? Is that why you're on it? I think that's why he's on it. Because the PlayStation is what's live streaming right now. Anyways. So, yeah, I'm going to pray, and then we'll read Proverbs 24, and hopefully that'll give you enough time to either open up Bible Gateway or open up your Bibles, or if you want a Bible, let me know. I'm more than willing to drop it off to you. All right. AJC, awesome Jesus Christ. Thank you that we could be here, that we could read the devotional for the day. Thank you for the reminders that you are with us, that when we excessively plan, sometimes we can miss you. And that reminder that we can be still and know that you're God. Yesterday is that reminder that we can say no, which is a struggle with a lot of us. And it's not unspiritual to say no sometimes. So I thank you for that as well. And as we dig into your word now and we work our way through Psalms, I pray that you can work through me as I read your word to not only impact myself and give me that focus and everything for the day, but also whomever is joining on the live stream. And yeah, Lord, thank you so much for this and this opportunity. All right. Well, I'm going to be jumping back into it after I take a sip. Hey, Don. Yeah. If you can hear my sipping sounds, then I'm sorry, and let me know. And as I'm reading, I'm not going to be able to see what's on the screen if you make comments or anything, but if there's a verse that you want me to reread again, or give a little bit more insight to, leave a comment in the live stream, or if there's just a verse that really stands out to you and you just want to highlight it again and maybe give some of your own reason, I'll try to read it out for everyone as well. And yeah, so without further ado, Don't envy evil people or desire their company, for their heart plots violence, and their words always stir up trouble. A house is built on wisdom and becomes strong through good sense. Through knowledge its rooms are filled, and with all sorts of precious riches and valuables. The wise are mightier than the sword, or than the strong, and those with knowledge grow stronger and stronger. So don't go to war without wise guidance. Victory depends on having many advisors. We're at war against COVID right now, so listening to wise advisors is going to be good. And with that, something that I've been praying about, with all the talks of opening up soon and stuff, Ontario, on Thursday apparently we had one of our worst days yet, as far as single day deaths. It might have just been Toronto, but though as a whole, as a country, we are winning this thing. When we hear about things opening up, it might take a little bit of time for us to get there. But we need to listen to the wise counsel for where we are, not what's happening, over there, but for us. Wisdom is too lofty for fools. Among leaders at the city gate, they have nothing to say. A person who plans evil will get a reputation as a troublemaker. The schemes of a fool are sinful. Everyone detests a mocker. Grace going into his little hole. If you fail under pressure, your strength is too small. Rescue those who are unjustly sentenced to die. Save them as they stagger to their death. Don't excuse yourself by saying, "Look, we didn't know." For God understands all hearts and He sees you. He who guards your soul knows you. He will repay you. He will repay all people as their actions deserve. My child, eat honey, for it is good, and the honeycomb is sweet to the taste. In the same way, wisdom is sweet to your soul. If you find it, you will have a bright future, and your hope will not be cut short. Don't wait in ambush at the home of the godly, and don't raid the house where the godly live. The godly may trip 7 times, but they will get up again. But one disaster is enough to overthrow the wicked. Don't rejoice when your enemies fall. Don't be happy when they stumble, for the Lord will be displeased with you and will turn His anger away from them. Don't fret because of evildoers. Don't envy the wicked, for evil people have no future. The light of the wicked will be snuffed out. My child, fear the Lord and the King. Don't associate with the rebels, for disaster will hit them suddenly. Who knows what punishment will come from the Lord and the King? Here are some future sayings of the wise. It is wrong to show favoritism when passing judgment. A judge who says to the wicked, "You are innocent," will be cursed by many people and denounced by the nations. But it will go well for those who convict the guilty. Rich blessings will be showered on them. An honest answer is like a kiss of friendship. Do your planning and prepare your fields before building your house. Don't testify against your neighbor without cause. Don't lie about them. Don't say, "Now I can pay them back for what they have done to me. I'll get even with them." I walked by a field of a lazy person, the vineyard of one with no common sense. I saw that it was overgrown with nettles, and it was covered with weeds, and its walls were broken down. Then as I looked through it and thought about it, I learned this lesson. A little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. As a lazy person, I've read that last little bit a couple times as a reminder not to be lazy. I try not to be lazy, and when that temptation and that desire comes in, sometimes I'll go back to that verse in particular, just to try to inspire me not to be. But yeah, an honest answer is like a kiss of friendship. Out of all the things that we read, that's the one verse that has jumped out to me. 24-26. An honest answer is like a kiss of friendship. Sometimes hearing the truth can be hard. It really can be. But when you lie and try to make people feel all warm and fuzzy around you, you might have a lot of connections. But it's when you're being honest and you tell people the uncomfortable things that you go from like, oh yeah, he's someone that's like nice to have around, or like, yeah, she's okay for this, that, or the other, but like a real friend like that, those deeper level friends, they come when they're honest. So if you're struggling to maintain good, high quality relationships, are you presenting your friendship as something that is worth the risk of being honest? Sometimes that is, yeah, you look fat in that dress. Sometimes it's, like, hey, when you did that, it kind of came across like this, or whatever. There's a saying that I used to say a lot, and it was like, a bad friend will stab you in the back. A good friend will stab you in the face. Just because, yeah. And when a lot of people are doing like artsy things and creative things, and they want to hear criticism, a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, that's really good, and they like, yeah, we go, you did something. But they're like, I want to improve, I want to become the best that I can be in this, and to do that, you need to know where you fall short sometimes. So what I'm saying, I guess, is there's times to be a cheerleader. There are. Because if you're just constantly telling people where they slip up or whatever, then when you do give them praise, it's gonna mean more for sure. But then no one's gonna want to be around you because you're just constantly going like, oh, this sucks or that sucks. And I don't think that's a really honest way of doing things either. Not everything sucks. There are plenty of things in your life that you are thankful for and that you appreciate. And be honest about it. But sometimes when people mess up, and we mess up a lot, to know that you can mess up and still maintain that friendship and still be loving and caring and have fun, like that goes a long way. And that's where the honesty is like a kiss of friendship, I think, at least. And there's a lot of other scenarios for that. Don't testify against your neighbors without cause. Don't lie about them. If you get angry about something that someone does, don't fixate on it and come up with reasons to back up your feelings just that much more, right? And everyone detests a mocker in verse 9. And then, yeah, that big one, for me at least, is a little extra sleep, a little bit more slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an unarmed robber. Like an armed robber. Yeah, I don't know why I'm messing that part up. Yeah, it's one of those sobering things, and I think if I wasn't doing anything, I'd be in a much worse kind of place personally, and there's other people that I've been able to talk to and connect with. Like, for me, I am a bit of a social person, as everyone that's on here knows me in some way. But I still have that temptation to just sit down, remove myself from everybody, and I don't know why, but that's always this tension of removing myself and not removing myself, and I found a happy balance right now. I still miss actually interacting with people, but mentally I'm doing okay because I have Candace and we're getting along, and we still got to work on things there. But there's that temptation to just remove, and if I did that, then one, I would suffer. Two, the people I care about would suffer. Three, I wouldn't be able to share my afternoon devotionals with you if I did that. So being active sometimes, it does mean, let's look after the house, let's look after this, let's do that. And other times it's just laziness can be one of the number one things to distract us from our devotional time and focusing on God. It is so much easier to sit down and play a video game or to watch Netflix than it is to focus on God. It's great when those two things can mix. Before starting the live stream today, I read an article from Pastor Joe Fenton about The Chosen, and as I was reading it, I was like, yep, that it's an 8-episode thing, and it gave a different perspective with some creative license on the time of Jesus, and in some ways The Chosen is actually the chosen people. It spends more time in the first 8 episodes, especially the first 2 episodes, with the chosen Jewish people, and not Jesus. I'm not saying that Jesus wasn't Jewish, but hopefully that makes sense, than it did with Jesus. So The Chosen, it was a nice kind of play on that, and they're hoping to make 8 seasons, which that would be fantastic. But reading through his article on why it was so good, and I agree with it. But my big 3 things for that, in context of this conversation, which I actually wasn't expecting to get into, is 1. Well, I guess 4 things. I'll come up with a list of 5. 1 is it's where laziness and faith can kind of collide. I really enjoy watching the Bible play out, and it helps give things. And yes, the dialogue is a mix of modern, and they highlight things from that time and stuff as well. But it also they take some creative license, and they take a lot of times on things that happened in the margins of the Bible. So episode 8 focuses a lot about the woman at the well, and the timeline from when that would happen, and what her life is like as she's then going to walk to the well, and what was going on with Jesus and his disciples as they're getting ready to, the celebration happens at the wedding and everything, and then they're walking to go there, and the difficulty of going wait, we're going to go there, there's Samaritans there, and there's that interplay within the disciples. So it does a good job of breathing this extra little bit of life on how it could have been. in the Bible, and it uses the medium properly. Yeah, laziness and faith. It lets the two kind of interact. It inspires a deeper understanding of the world with the liberties that it takes as it explores the chosen people. 3 would be that it uses the medium of television in a really effective way. There's a lot of cheesy and cliche movies out there. There's a lot of Christian TV shows and movies that I personally, I don't feel like they follow the rules of TV and movies that we've been trained through our whole lives to accept and appreciate and understand how a story is told and everything. And they don't seem to follow the rules on that all that well, most Christian movies, but this does. And it's not only does it follow the rules, but it's not 10 years behind. It's like, feels like it's caught up modern day with how storytelling is. Watch an hour-long show, and there are certain rules and languages that happen that are particular in those hour-long shows. And The Chosen seems to actually hit that. Those same rules and ways of telling a story. So I really appreciate it for that. But my number one reason that I like it was that it did a good job of showing the human side of Jesus, also highlighting the fact that he is God, but it's leaning a little bit more in that, yeah, he was a real person walking the earth. And his humanity, his humility, and his humor really come through. A lot of people, like, when they depict Jesus, he's just this, sometimes either like he's too much and he just feels really unrelatable, but Jesus told puns. If you know the saying of, like, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to go into heaven, if you know, like, that part, in the original, it was a pun. Jesus told puns. That's why puns are amazing. Yes. And I learned that from scientists, from atheists, actually. And as I looked into it, it seemed to be true. Adam Conover and Neil deGrasse Tyson were having a conversation for some reason about comedy in the Bible, and they talked about Jesus having a pun. And it was like, I don't remember anything else from that particular podcast or show or whatever, but I remember that part, and I investigated it, and I'm like, holy cow, this is amazing. And I don't think either one of them are believers, so that just made it just that much cooler that I learned that, and it's made a big impact on my understanding on who Jesus is, and it makes it so much. It just makes me appreciate who Jesus was in his time that much more, and this show is one of the only ones that really hit it in an honest and humble way. And the guy who portrays Jesus is very much like, I am an actor doing a role. I am not projecting myself into that. I'm doing the best that I can. But, like, he sees it as in a way that I feel is very healthy as well. So, yeah. Anyways, if you want to watch that show, I was not expecting to talk about it, but I did just read a giant article, so it's on my mind. Yeah, it's worth checking out. It's for free. You download the app on your whatever app store you have, and it's called The Chosen. It's 8 episodes. It's about 6 hours long, and it was really good. So it's a good way of not being lazy, but also being lazy. So, yeah. Anyways, was not expecting to go on that rant at all, but hey, I'm glad that hopefully someone stuck around for it. If not, that's okay. So I'll pray, and then yeah, we can be done. So, AJC, awesome Jesus Christ. Thank you for the ability to read your word together. The reminders of being honest, reminders that you're with us, that you care about our relationships, that you care about our production and the balance that we carry in our lives. I pray that things like this can help inspire people to go deeper with you, to maybe look at you for the first time. Things like the show The Chosen, and for those that are being lazy and want to do something and they've lost that motivation to do something, I pray that you can lift them up. They can guide and direct them. They can help inspire them to move. And when there are times of being lazy, I pray that you can help guide and direct us there. When there's times to be a cheerleader and times to be brutally honest, I pray that you can guide and direct us in that as well. May your discernment overflow in our lives. I hate when people used to pause in the middle of their prayer as I was a young Christian, and I'm finding myself doing it more and more as I pray. But yeah, Lord, for anyone that gets frustrated, if I do that, help give them a little bit of extra patience with me. And I want to lift up all the frontline workers again, more protection and less stupid people. And as we think about the economy and people's jobs and employment and balancing this thing up and opening up the country again, there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, a lot of unknowns. And I lift up our leadership in all the governmental bodies that are making these decisions for our safety. And I pray that we can follow along to protect those cities, that we cannot be focused on what they're doing over there, but know what we have to do here. And give us the power, the strength, the wisdom to follow, to listen to the wise counsel. And knowing that what they do over there affects us here. As our global world, even though it's so separated right now, we realize just how interactive and how small it is. The billions of people, how devastating this all could be. I think that we'll all have stories to share. This one unique shared experience as humanity. And I pray that you can get glorified in it. And I pray for the stupid people that are interacting with the people on the front lines to not be stupid. And I thank you for all the doctors in the hospitals that are doing what they need to do, not only with the COVID patients, but also with the non-COVID patients. I'm thinking about my father-in-law right now, and I pray for continued healing as they're doing what they need to do with him. And a lot of people are still just getting sick, getting in accidents, doing things. The majority of accidents happen around the home, so I'm sure the hospitals are just as busy, if not worse. For the marriages that are under extra strain, I lift them up. For the kids and the family units that are struggling, Lord, I pray for them. I pray that we can find good news, celebrate it, and share it. That the truth is something that we can seek after and not sell it. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. All right. Well, and hi, Debbie. Have a great day, guys. Hopefully this helps focus the rest of your day. on God. And if you do a personal morning devotional, you join me for this afternoon devotional. Don't forget them at night before you go to bed. If this is the only thing that you do as well, that's okay. Thank you for taking some time to build on our relationship. While I focus on trying to help us get a deeper relationship with God. And yeah, you're awesome. See you tomorrow. If you want to join me tonight, we'll be doing the last jackpot games of the week. Then I'll take a break for the weekend and jump back on it on Tuesday, 9:30 on Discord. Also, for those of you that haven't heard yet, we have changed our name from Highlands Youth for Christ to Youth Unlimited Highlands Youth for Christ, just to make it more of a mouthful. But short form, we're going by YU now, so Youth Unlimited. And we have in Highlands launched a chat service. It's non-crisis, but if you do have a crisis, you can definitely still contact us. There's a text portion and a call-in portion. The text portion is done via laptop and private messages. There's a phone app that we use as well, and it connects you with different staff and some volunteers. And we're on it from noon till midnight, Monday to Saturday. So if you need to take advantage, yuchat.ca, and all the information's there. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. If you need to take advantage of that service, once again, yuchat.ca. There's links on it on my Facebook page, and I'll probably link it out again tonight as well. But yes, thank you so much for joining. God bless. Have a great day.